Hello, my name is Jill Weissenbach, and I currently own Higgins and Friends Pet Sitting. I started almost 18 years ago with my business, and it's been the culmination of many, many things I've done in my life with animals. I have always been into animals. I rode horses most of my life. I did a lot of volunteer work. I worked at the National Zoo. I had my own horse, my own cats, my own dogs, whatever. And I went through a corporate job for a while and decided that wasn't for me. But while I was doing that, I worked for about 11 years at the National Zoo with a SEAL Sea Lion program as an interpreter. And then when I quit the corporate life, I decided to go back to animals. And I've done everything from work with llamas and horses to birds and cats. And I was a vet tech for over 10 years. Um, and at that point is when I started doing some pet sitting on the side. So after several years of being a vet tech, I built up a pretty good clientele, and then eventually went on pet sitting on full time. And but I was able to use the skills I had previously, with being a vet tech and working with all different types of animals, to be able to create a business where I could not only take care of animals, but bring in staff that I felt was qualified to do that. Um, and that's sort of my history in a nutshell. And right now, we take care of just about anything you have in your home that crawls, walks, barks, meows, hisses, whatever, um, flies. And but I specialize in cats. I've come into a specialty because my talent is with taking care of cats, and because of my medical training, I do a lot of special needs animals. So, and I also teach owners how to take care of them. So that's my thing. And I try to hire people that are experienced in all types of animal care, rescue, professional, whatever. You can gain knowledge from that. One thing about working with animals, what you have to understand is it is a lifestyle. It's not a 9 to 5. You have to be able to adjust your life to the animals. They will not adjust to you. That doesn't happen in the real world. But you have to like that kind of a lifestyle. I like that kind of a lifestyle. I don't like the 9 to 5, so I'm very happy adjusting it. I live with animals. I work with them. I help people. So it's a very fluid kind of a life when you work with animals. And what I always tell people, because I always have young people wanting to work for me, and I'm sort of the culmination. I'm what you do when you've learned everything else, because I have to send you out into the world to take care of animals on your own. So what you need to do before you get to where you work for me or you have your own business is to get your experience. Either go to college at animal science, go take some courses to be a vet tech. Those are very informative. Um, and then just work in the field. It doesn't matter if it's rescue, dog walk, dog kennels, daycares, anything like veterinary clinics. A lot of them will hire young people, and you work your way up and you learn it from the bottom up, because animals are messy. So you need to learn from the beginning to the end. You don't start at the top with animals, because when you walk in a house and an animal's gotten sick or something, you don't want to pass out. You want to be like, oh, no problem. I'll take care of it. So you want to get all the experience you want. And then it also allows you to decide what path you want. You might not want to be a pet sitter. I never did years ago, but I found that to me, it's very interesting, because I have my own niches that I can help people. So if you start whatever, I mean, I was a late bloomer. My family's, we always say we're late bloomers. It doesn't matter. You don't have to go to college at 18 and think you have to decide what your life is, because I didn't. I always knew I just wanted to do something with animals. And there's so many pathways to it. So just, what I did was I just sort of followed what I loved, and I gained a huge amount of knowledge that I can pass on to people. And that's how I help my clients. I get a lot of people from veterinary clinics that refer to me because I can handle the more difficult cats and I can help people with medical things. So it's really getting a foundation, and then you can decide what you want to do.
How has the economy affected your industry this
Well, the
past year?
pandemic has affected us, obviously. We went, um, it got it slowed down a lot last year because people weren't leaving their houses. They didn't need their dogs walk. They weren't going on vacation. And I'm very cat oriented. So when people stopped traveling, the only thing that kept me going is I do a lot of medical help with clients. I do fluids on cats, I do injections, diabetes testing, all kinds of, I can do all that because of my training. So that kept me going. I do cat grooming. So there's certain things that I was able to do, but my staff was lower. Well, one of my techs moved out of town, so, and I just didn't replace her. Now we're like, it's exploding again, but you sort of have to, it's hard. I'm sure a lot of my kind of service hurt, but it's coming back. I mean, I'm inundated. I've probably had 10 new client meetings in the last 2 weeks. And then my current clients are starting to go away. So it's a little over. It's like, you go 0 to 60 and then boom, you're there. So now I've got to start looking to hire someone. And that could take me months to hire the right person, because I don't just hire dog walkers. I hire animal caretakers, and they have to really be able to walk into a house and know what to do. So I'm not the place to learn. But once you've learned, you can go in any direction you want. You can work for me and have a great time. So, but yeah, the economy, we kind of have to follow it, but you have to be creative too in addressing it. My lifestyle has been, but I like this kind of lifestyle. You have to like the lifestyle that you get with taking care of animals. I don't care what, if you're a veterinarian, if you're a hot walker at the racetrack, which I've done it all. I'm not a veterinarian, but I've galloped horses at the track. I've done all kinds of stuff. And you have to like that kind of flexible lifestyle. Otherwise, you're just not going to make it. So you have to be able to walk into any situation with animals and say, oh well, got to do it. So
What do you find the most challenging and the most satisfying?
the most challenging is, for me, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't look at them as, well, I look at them, I guess, as challenges. I mean, difficult animals. I deal with a lot of difficult cats, which people don't realize are probably worse than dogs, because when they don't want to do something, they have a lot of weapons, and that's my challenge. But my biggest satisfaction is helping people, because you're helping the people too. You're helping the clients too. I mean, I do a lot of kind of end of life stuff because I do sub-Q fluids, and if I can give an animal 6 months of life that they wouldn't normally have, then that, to me, I just went through that with like 3 different cats that we and it's hard, but I decided when I started this, especially with the vet teching, is either you learn to deal with the loss or you get out of the business, because it will tear you apart. And it was, when I first started teching and the animals dying and euthanasia, it was tough, but you have to think that you've done everything you can. And I do help because I do a lot of special needs animals, so a lot of that is end of life. And but I feel good that I help the animals have a good quality of life, and I help the owners get through it, because I will talk them through things and advise them on stuff and help them, and the owners are usually very grateful that they have that, they can remember their animals with a good quality of life. That to me is the most satisfying.